Hey guys, so for today's video, I wanted to do the latte makeup trend. I've seen this all over TikTok and Instagram for the past few weeks now. I'm a little bit late on the trend, but I wanted to try out Angelica's brushes from Singe Beauty, which is her brand. I bought these myself and I wanted to just try them out together with you on camera. I used the ColourPop You're Golden palette to do this eye look, and of course these eyeshadow brushes. So if you want to see how I did this latte makeup look, go and keep on watching. Okay, let's dive into these brushes before we put on makeup. I want to see them all fresh and new. I clearly haven't even opened it yet. The presentation was beautiful in the box. They fit nicely. I love the pop of orange. Very Angelica. These look so pretty. I love this yellow color. I think it's so fun and so different than other brush brands. Take a second to pop these open. I got my order like a week ago and I have been waiting to use these brushes. Here they all are, nice and new and fluffy. I love the brown bristles, the yellow handles, so pretty. I also really like how she named the brushes. I talked about this in a recent video where I was mentioning Decay Beauty brushes, and I like when brush names are just like numbers and letters and they don't really tell you exactly what the purpose is for. So I feel like sometimes people get so caught up in the name of a brush and they only use it for that purpose, but if the brush isn't named, you know, like fluffy crease brush, use it for whatever you want, you know? So we have the EO1, EO2, EO3, EO4, EO5. Very simple. I love that. Whenever I get a new brush, I always like to place it on my eye and see kind of what I would use it for. Oh, these feel really, really lightweight. That is good. I love a lightweight eyeshadow brush. This is the EO3. This would be like my perfect fluffy crease brush. So kind of like that. I like to fake put on eyeshadow. This is the EO2, so it's a smaller, fluffy brush. I think this will be really good for like detail blending, little lower lash line blending. There's an even smaller blending brush. How do these two compare? These look pretty similar. This one just has more of a point to it, the one I just showed, the EO2. This one is the EO5. See, the EO2 has a little point right here. The EO5 is a little more dome shape, but I would pretty much use these for the same purpose, just any like detail blending. And then we have the EO1, which is more of a flat brush. This will be great for packing shadow on the lid, maybe a little inner corner, little brow bone, little lower lash line work. And then the last one is the EO4, and honestly, I don't typically use a brush with this shape. They say the EO4 is perfect to blend the edges or apply color with precision to the crease. I guess if I was like to pack on shadow in my crease maybe and then blend it out, I think I would use this brush for that. I feel like this is a little big for my lower lash line, but I'll make it work. And since today's video is just kind of fun and laid back, I want to do the latte makeup trend that it's been trending for a couple weeks now, and honestly, I'm kind of late on the trend, but my boyfriend and I are going out on a date tonight, so I wanted to do a pretty makeup look, and I was like, might as well do latte makeup, right? But the thing with latte makeup, it's literally a brown smoky eye, and you can make it like as soft or as smoky as you want it to be. It's all over TikTok. I quickly just like Googled it too, and of course like Hailey Bieber popped up first, so we're just gonna do a brown smoky eye of some type today. And for my palette, I'm gonna use the ColourPop You're Golden. I think this palette is perfect for this latte makeup trend. We have so many warm browns, which is exactly what I want. All right, let's apply some eyeshadow. I already primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I'm gonna start with the shade Lounger on the EO4 brush. It's funny that I just said I don't know what I would use this brush for, and then this is the first brush that I grabbed for. So I'm just gonna pack this shade into my crease. I was going to use a fluffy brush, but I decided to use more of a packing brush since I didn't set my eyelid. So since it is kind of tacky, I'm going to pack on the color first and then blend it out. I really like how lightweight this brush feels in my hand, and I like that the handle gets a little tapered towards the end. And this is a really good sized brush too. I like that her set kind of leans a little more on the smaller side for brush sizes, except that one big fluffy brush, but I think it's good to have one big fluffy one. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the shade in the center to my inner crease because kind of did pack a lot on out here. Okay, so this is the shape I have, and now I'm gonna take the EO2 brush with nothing on it, and I'm gonna start to blend out the edges. Now I'm going to pick up this light kind of vanilla shade on the same brush, and I'm going to use that to blend right under my brow to really smooth out these edges. I'm loving the size of this small blending brush. I'm going to take this Secret Spot shade on the biggest fluffy brush. This is the EO3, and I'm going to softly blend this shade back and forth in my crease. And now I can kind of do more of a back and forth windshield wiper motion since I did lay those first two shades down. The bristles on this brush are very, very flimsy. Like, they're very easy to move. I almost wish the bristles were a little more tightly packed. And you guys know when I do my eyeshadow, especially when I do my shadow first, I'm pretty sloppy with this outer corner. I do clean that up later with my concealer. Okay, now I want to put a shimmer all over my lid. There's a couple shades I'm eyeing, so I'm going to do a couple swatches really quick. Okay, I hope I didn't get these messed up. This is The Weekend. This is Balmy. Don't know how to pronounce this one, but this one is my favorite because it's kind of like a rose gold color. This is the shade. I'm going to take it on the E01, and I'm going to use this brush dry at first, and I'm going to apply this shade all over my lid. Also, this is a really nice lid brush. I like that it's flat, but it's not too flat, and it has a little bit of a point to it. I'm going to try it wetting this brush. I want to see if I can really build up this shade. Kind of give it more of a foiled effect. Ooh, that is so pretty. And I just used my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray to wet my brush. I'm gonna go back to that big fluffy brush and just blend around the edges of the shimmer right in the crease. And then on this brush, I'm gonna go back to that really light vanilla shade. And I'm gonna use that just to blend on this outer edge a little bit, just to soften it before I do my face makeup. Okay, this brush is doing a really good job at blending out these edges. I think for this purpose, I like that the brush is really big and fluffy, but when I'm working in my crease, I do want it to be a little bit smaller and a little more tightly packed in the bristles. Okay, I'm super happy with how that is looking so far. All right, I went ahead and did my face makeup off camera. Now let's do the lower lash line. I'm gonna take that brush I used for my lid and just clean that off on my Sigma switch. And I'm gonna pick up more of that secret spot shade on the tip of this brush, and that's gonna go along my entire lower lash line. And as always, I'm going to connect my shadow to my outer crease right out here. I do wish this brush set had maybe a smaller, kind of short, stiff brush for the lower lash line. So that's why I picked this brush, because it has a nice little tip to it, but it still just feels a little large for my lower lash line. And then I didn't really want to use this one because that just feels a little too big. But I mean, this is only the first brush set, so I'm sure there is more to come. Now I'm going to go back to the E02 with that light vanilla shade. This shade reminds me of Bare for my palette, which is why I just keep using it to blend out the edges, and that's exactly what I'm doing on the lower lash line. Then I'm also going to blend around this outer edge, because I want this look to be really just kind of like blown out and diffused. Okay, I'm going to go back to that super fluffy brush because I did really like this for just really like blowing out this outer part. And I'm taking the tiniest amount of that secret spot shade and I'm tapping it off so there's like nothing on the brush. I just want a little bit of product. And I'm just going to kind of do big fluffy motions here just to really blow out this look. And I'm using a really, really light hand. This is not a step I normally do in my looks, especially with this kind of brown, but I want this look to just be like sexy brown eyeshadow, you know? Okay, like I said, I know I was kind of hating on this brush, not hating, but you know what I mean. I wasn't loving it for like crease work, but for really diffusing out a look, this is really nice. Now I'm going to take the E05 and my highlighter I used on my face, which is my Rare Beauty Enlighten, and pop that in my inner corner. And the tiniest bit under my brow. Alright, went ahead and popped on just some mascara today. I just really like this kind of blown out look with just mascara. It's very like model-esque in my opinion. And for my mascara, I just used the Tower 28 to make waves. Alright, and here's what the full face looks like from far away. I feel like I went pretty bronzy with the blush, the bronzer, the lip is different for me. So honestly, this kind of feels like a lot of makeup to me, but I really tried to embrace the latte brown makeup trend. There's a lot of products on my face right now, so let me tell you what I used. I used two different bronzers. I used the Kosas Waves bronzer in the shade The Sun Show. Is that right? Or is it the Sun Show bronzer in the shade Waves? I think that sounds right. So it's the Kosas Sun Show Bronzer in the shade Waves. And then I added my Makeup by Mario Skin Perfector in light medium on top. I do like to use this one as a bronzer. And then for my blush, I'm wearing the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade At Night. I just filmed my declutter yesterday where I went through all of my like powder, blush, bronzers, and highlighters and the cream versions. And I kind of like rediscovered this blush and it's just so freaking pretty. I used a big fluffy brush to apply it because again, I wanted that like just kind of all over the face. I use this BK Beauty 104 brush and I really liked it because it just kind of hits all of the spots that I need. And then I did end up using my e.l.f. primer infused blush in Always Cheeky, which is this super duper pale shade to really just soften out the edges of my blush. And like I said, for my highlight, I'm wearing the Rare Beauty highlighter, but I did mix my two shades together today, Enlighten and Exhilarate. And then for my lips, I kind of wanted it to be this kind of deeper brown rosy tone, so I popped on the new Lawless Forget the Filler lipsticks. I just filmed a lip swatch video of all the colors the other day. It should be up and posted pretty much everywhere, and I really like the formula of these. So I took the shade Cookie, which is pretty deep, and I put that on my entire lip. And then I wanted to brighten the center just a little bit, so I took this shade Annie. So I popped that right in the center, kind of blended that out, so that is my lip. Like I said, this is super bronzy, very model-esque, but it's kind of different for me, and it was really fun to just kind of play around with this latte makeup trend. Overall, I was super happy with the Singe eyeshadow brushes that I used today. I think Angelica created some beautiful eyeshadow brushes, and I'm excited to see what she comes out with next. Like I said, there's a couple other shapes and sizes that I would like to see in eyeshadow brushes, but I think it'd be cool if she launches some makeup products. I don't know, we'll see if she does, but obviously she needs to do like an orange blush. I'm waiting for it, Angelica. I'm gonna link everything I used today down below as always, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.